Hello everyone, I'm Brian Smith here at Red Hat Summit, and I'm a product manager for Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and excited to talk about our MCP Server for RHEL Developer Preview, which can help you with managing RHEL using AI. I'm going to walk through a quick demo here. I'm in a open source tool called Goose that has the MCP Server for RHEL installed and configured, and we're going to walk through some prompts to work on troubleshooting a couple of issues on a RHEL system. So my initial prompt I'm starting with is that I have 5 RHEL systems, and I'm going to ask it to check the health of the systems and generate 2 tables of information. One table should have an overview of the systems. One table should have a list of the high priority issues that need to be addressed on those systems. So it's going to use various tools that are available in the MCP Server for RHEL to gather information from the RHEL environment. It's going to get the logs, get hardware information from the 5 servers. It then puts together the 2 tables of information. The first table has an overview, and the second table has a list of some of those high priority issues. A couple of the issues identified we're going to dive into a little bit deeper. One of the issues is the RHEL 10 Server 1 has a root file system that's almost full, and the other system has the Apache HTTP service failing to start. So we're going to look into those a little bit more and see if we can have the tool help us figure out what's going on there. So I'll ask it to help figure out what's taking up so much space on the root file system. And it's going to use some tools from the RHEL MCP server to walk through and determine that this directory here is what's using up the majority of the space in that file system. So this could really help save time for these types of use cases where you're trying to narrow down what's using up all the space in the file system. Next up, we're going to ask it to help me figure out why that HTTPD service is failing to start on RHEL 10 Server 3. It's going to look at the logs, look at the configuration file, and identify that there's a typo in the HTTP configuration file. So it identifies what the typo is and provides some suggestions on how this could be resolved to fix that typo in the configuration file. The final use case we'll look at, I have the RHEL 9 Server 2, and I'm going to ask it to take a look at the storage and generate a Graphviz formatted diagram of the storage layout, and that'll show the relationship between physical disks, volume groups, logical volumes, etc. So the MCP server is going to enable it to gather that disk information and then put together that Graphviz formatted file. I can then convert that into an image, and you can visually see here the representation of the storage. It shows the physical disk, the partitions, LV and physical volumes, volume groups, and logical volumes and file systems. So this can really save time if you need to create this type of diagram of the storage layout of your RHEL system. Well, that's it for today. Check out the links below to learn more how you can get started with the MCP Server for RHEL Developer Preview.